Hey, good morning. It's about 7 a.m., March 23rd, 2024. Best pitcher, 1872. Way back, old school. Cummings. Have you heard of him? When I did the study on Baseball Reference and looked up who was leading in the pitching category for a certain year, Cummings was the first time I heard that name. Who was this guy? Well, what I'm doing is I'm discussing a series of videos of the best pitcher for a certain year. And the way I determine the best pitcher is by looking at 9 categories and see who wins the category for that year. What are the categories? Wins, most innings, most strikeouts, most shutouts, games started, complete games, earned run average, winning percentage, and saves. For 1872, Cummings won 4 categories. He had the most innings, 497. Whew. Shutouts, 3. Games started, 55. And complete games, 53. He didn't have the most wins. Most wins were Al Spalding, had 38. But Al Spalding only had 2 categories. There was a guy named Cherokee Fisher. He had a couple categories. He had the best earned run average and he had the highest winning percentage, but it's only 2. Cummings, I'm giving it to him. Best pitcher, 1872, because he wins 4 categories. Let's look at him. Go to Baseball Reference, type in his name under baseball. Starts his career 1872 and wins 33 games and loses 20. But he had the most innings of all the pitchers, 497. You know, back then they didn't strike out, pitchers didn't strike out batters that much. Only 45 strikeouts in 497 innings. That means he's just lobbing the ball up there, whether it's underhand or overhand. I don't know how they did it. And guys were just putting the ball in play. But he won 33 games. Actually, for his career, played 6 years. Had 145 wins. In 6 years? How many would he have in 12 years if he's on that pace? If he gets 145 in 6 years. 6 more years, he's up to 290. That's 12 years. 290 wins. If he's on that pace. Add another 145 wins. He's up to 435 wins in 18 years. This guy was on pace. But what happened? He only played 6 years in the league. And he stops pitching at age 28. I guess back in 1872, salaries are not that much. Of course, the baseball season is not that long. It's only like April to August or September. They didn't play that many games back then. In the 1870s, I believe the baseball season, maybe 80 games, 100 games, depending. It was only later in the 1880s they got over 120 games, and eventually by 1890s, I think it was a 154 game season was established. So in the 1870s, this is the infancy of baseball, and the National League got going. And this is when the stats begin to show up. If you go to Baseball Reference and you put in pitching and you look at the categories, wins, innings, so forth, 1871 is the starting point. Riney Walters won 1871. That was the last video. This video, Cummings wins it. 145 wins in his career, but he stops pitching at age 28. he was on a Hall of Fame pace. Wonder why he stopped pitching. Had 2,000 innings. That's a lot in 6 years. That's a lot of innings. All right, 1872 in the book. We're going to continue a series of videos. Best pitcher each individual year from 1871 to 2023. That's going to be 152 videos. All right, thanks. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you later. I'm out.